Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide divorce mediation and valuation services in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we have the privilege of discussing the NACVA 30 years and beyond with Brien Jones. Brien is a seasoned association executive, and NACVA is located in Salt Lake City. He's the Chief Operations Officer and Executive Vice President of the National Association of Certified Valuators and Analysts. He's also part of the Global Association of Certified Valuators and Analysts and Consultants Training Institute. Here's what's happening in this pandemic and after the pandemic is everything is changing. Like every single month, every quarter. And so I think that's kind of the opportunity is there, but it's also the frustration because, in the past you could read about how to do lost profits, right? You could read about how to testify in a divorce, and that would be relevant information for a few years. And now it's like, well, that's what this month handles. But next month could be different. Forensics and fraud has always been, even when we do this podcast, like everybody loves it. Everybody loves true crime and solving things.
Yeah.
And, most of that happens we usually see it in kind of lows in the economy. So when you see recessions, when you see this type of economy, what happens is that when everybody's making money, nobody's looking for the money. And then when money starts to get tight, it's like, oh, wait, we were losing 300,000. Who was taking it? So it's really a time when you're going to see fraud tick up. You're going to see right now, you have to see the courts that are backed up and people are seeking mediation and other types of things. But I think it's really looking at your own practice and saying, okay, what worked, right? What lasted through the pandemic? How did my practice switch? And are there areas that I'm weak in, and not even maybe weak, but it's like, you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't know what's changed and you're not paying attention because it's changing like really fast, then you're going to get caught and it's not going to be a very pretty situation. And so I think that's part of what people should kind of maybe think about their practice, because our practice did change. But it's like, okay, so with those changes, is there any additional training or credential that I might want, right? Or am I up to speed?
It should change, right? It's like the world, to your point, everything was turned on its head over the last 12, 14 months. Professionally, personally, mentally, psychologically, socially, politically, what was not affected climate-wise, what was not affected by these last 12 months in our life. And so we should be evolving. We should be looking at our practice to, as you're recommending, what is it that we need to do, or I need to do as a business owner, to stay current, to stay relevant, to serve my clients, to think of future clients, to help them deter fraud. So NACVA committed to fraud in the early 2000s. Right? It's like fraud isn't new news, right? These big scandals just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And you made a point that businesses don't really consider the deterrence to fraud. Only, oh my God, it happened to me. And now I've got to investigate and prosecute and try to reclaim, which costs a lot to the client. And so as an association, we've shifted, because of demand, most of our training to investigation, prosecution, investigation, the forensics element of it. But there is an opportunity, I think, a reset from the advisor to their clients to say, well, maybe if you've been lucky that you haven't been impacted by a fraud, but your operations could be at risk. Let's look at that for your company and put some controls into place to protect yourself. Another trending issue here is cyber security.
Right.
It's going to become a greater risk in valuation. It's going to become a greater risk in business operations. And we're programming training for our members in cybersecurity, how to deal with email, how to deal with evidence, how to, protect the integrity of those confidential relationships, documents, communications, and just the business intelligence. And so there is an opportunity for folks to evolve their practice themselves, and they should be.
Hmm.
Um, what's that word? Publish or perish? No, evolve or die. Evolve or die. It's like, yeah, get on the bandwagon and make some changes and take those
Right.
risks.